Well, my other class took their test.
Oh, they took it away?
Yeah. Well, I just don't know how you could sit in my class and read stuff blank. You know what I mean? I mean, I can understand getting assigned wrong because you make mistakes or adding on this power and product, getting confused. But to leave stuff blank and say, I don't remember how to do it, it's like, really? A foil? How can you not remember how to foil? And what was the other one?
Did they get this?
Yeah, I went over the same thing.
So they didn't review it?
Well, yeah, people like I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, it's just so funny, because there's always somebody who knows everything.
You could do that.
I know that.
That.
And I think it was, yeah, but it usually happens in prep one, is where people know everything. I know all this stuff. Okay. Now, what did we get through, quiz 8 or quiz 9 today? Oh, so you could go through 9.
Okay.
You could go, we've gone, so 10 and 11 you can't do yet. I wasn't sure if we did that or not. God, I stayed for another, I got off at 2, I stayed for another hour and a half to help somebody with editing, look at that one. Wow. So massive, they got thousands of problems. And it's okay if you have nothing else to do in your life. Because people have more classes, have a full-time job, maybe another job.
Free dog.
Families, moving. Things come down women or, divorce, and then they're having issues with,
Yeah.
that.
I'm talking to one of the professors about English too, and he said that it's pretty hard and that you should take advantage of all these class. What? I don't do that one.
Yeah, so people sign up because they have to get done with, they're in a rush to get done with their program because there's deadlines to get into things. Especially the nursing program, I guess they have deadlines once a year, if you miss it, it's a whole other year. Then people, then everything's a rush to get into it. I just don't think I need to introduce it. I didn't put it up there. I just don't think we can do it. That would be awesome if we could, but I don't think so. Actually, I might start it. Actually, I'm going to put it up there.
Yeah, we knew there's a lot of work back there.
I don't think we're going to get to it, and I really don't want to. We could do all of that. I don't know. We only have like 3 more classes, actually. I think. Yeah. 3 classes in the final.
Oh, wow, already?
And we have to do all the factoring and come back. You know what? No, we just won't get it for the future. I'll just take the admission to file. Or. Because there's just no way. I just, I've got to get factoring right from this chapter 7.
The last we're taking now, is it an elective or is it a intermediate?
No, it's 6 times 6. Negative 6 draws to 36. Yeah. No, this is 5x and minus 5x. I'm gonna go over that class. Important thing is just watch the signs.
But I'm like, 'cause I have people in here, I want to hear the kids them for the enrolled him already in. But we can do our festival during the summer. Oh, yeah.
Did you do your 8? Did you do 7 and 8?
I did 7 and I did 2 stupid mistakes and I got 86. So I
On
had
the
to-
7?
Yeah, so I had to do it. I had the number right, but I added the negative, and then the other one, I added 2 exponents instead of multiplying.
But that's what I did practice here. And what I did, I think I did it on one time. That's why I pulled away for about 10 minutes and I came back. That's what I did. It's tricky sometimes. Now I can do 9. Number 8. Number 8. There's 1. You gotta watch.
That foiling?
Yeah. This one you gotta watch out for.
I'm done. And I don't know how to do that, but that was how I do one of those and I was lost.
That's what I did.
Because you have to.
I did all of these when I got to there, all of this here, and I sat down, she explained me how to do it, and then I did all this.
Because on that one, if it was 2 different, you have to go back and do the lowest common denominator. And then you have to do the same rules for that one, and then you do subtraction.
But see here, you gotta subtract this one from this one. And it had a higher number, but here's another one I'm short.
At the time, it gets really, like you're glad when you miss a class and then you realize.
Yeah.
And then it's like 7. Okay, right here, when you look at all this, I always took this 4 and 4. But she said, divide it out.
Yeah, you have to reduce it right there before you even apply the power to it, and then you apply the power.
I was playing.
And it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't regret having more of it.
Let me show you something.
Too funny.
Then I did it, yeah. That was fun.
All right, I got it figured out. We'll just do, our chapter 6 test will be in class, open notes, and do something. And we actually skip 6.4. I don't
What
teach
class number is
6.4.
this? 9? 10?
Yeah, I don't teach 6. We do 6.3. Why do we need 6.4? We skip. It's stupid. 6.5 is okay. Well, it's like. You look beautiful. You look rested and everything.
I know, I need to go back.
Make a TV show out of his class.
I know. Well, 6.4, they teach you how to do something from 6.3, but it's like a longer method.
Oh.
And nobody teaches that.
You know, I
It's
used
just-
like night before last was to use the tutor lady on the computer.
I know a lot of people.
You watched her?
Yeah,
Did it help? That was scary. Yeah, it did help a little
In the
bit.
English, they have it free.
In the lab?
Because people are going in and they're not logging in, so it shows that a lot of people are going.
You ought to see how little prep courses that they're offering in the summer. They're only offering 3 prep in the summer. They've never had that, ever. You know what? You know what? We can do this. Because we don't need this. I can just teach you what. Okay. Kelsey, I didn't bring the folder that has stuff to return. Would have been
Okay.
stuff in here. We're gonna go over this in class. There was a scientific interpretation quiz. Can I get that to you?
No.
Okay, we need that.
I'm ready.
That they're handing in.
You wear your munchies, girl.
No,
man.
It's like the first time I've been taking yeah. Oh, you were amazing.
The big one, Lost Days.
Yeah.
Greco.
It was really cool. I went to like so many of them.
I know. The product, is it the product?
They put this new.
The product. But anyway, there's, I mean, the Spanish artists of that time were the best musicians.
Insane.
The Lost Days of Greco and Goya.
Oh, Goya, I think. Well, someone that had house.
Whatever, El Greco did everything in elongated.
Okay.
The Lost Days did a like, the social, high-end social.
I didn't realize they were like, yeah. I thought I was going to like, wait, you know, like salsa and stuff, they're very like sophisticated.
Oh, really?
And the time period that they painted.
That was actually my friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was really cool. I think we had to turn this in, right?
Yeah.
And then it was more.
But you can turn the test in.
Alright, I didn't finish 5.5.
This isn't the test, this is the quiz, okay. Let me find it.
Oh,
Did you?
but we're doing this in class. So I need this and the quiz. Yes, I need this and this. This we're gonna do in class. Oh, this one? No, but you had to do this one. That's good, because now you're a test. Oh, this is what was
Is he giving us the evil eye? I don't like skeletons.
Okay, so you have to get
And I'm just gonna go over it.
Yeah,
This time, let's say another hour and a half.
Now and a half.
Yes, I think it's 3:30. I was in the,
I mean, you did it, it's good that you did it, but we're gonna go over it. That way you can check yourself.
break room. You guys, your science and notation quiz is due. Anybody lost it and needs another one?
Mine sent an email. Someone sent an email.
Where's he gonna collect it?
They're like, thanks for being the only one who replied.
Except the last one.
Yeah, 19 and 20. Like,
That's,
It's like, oh my gosh, -5.
That doesn't look good.
there's no graphs here.
I know, I won't bring that.
Are you gonna be anywhere on campus tomorrow?
No, but I have a mailbox in the lab.
Okay. I must have left, I switched the review that we did.
Well, you know, just give somebody at the map desk to come put it in my mailbox.
Okay,
It's right there in the back by the desk.
okay.
The mailbox.
Okay.
Put it in
after
there.
that, I left the favorite for girls.
Okay, let's do that.
My homework, they don't bother much, like I told her to call me and I'll call her when I get out of class and give me a
Yeah.
pick them up and then if I need to.
just.
I'm missing some more.
I know I'm looking for it right now.
Do the audit, do the audit.
I think it was the test.
Yeah, I do.
You guys all handed in your quiz, or you're doing it right now?
Well, I haven't turned in that one.
Yeah, I did it twice.
7. Give me up to 7.
This I don't need.
This is mine.
This I don't need.
You're talking about, right?
This I need.
Is that the answer though?
Now, we
Because remember I said that this is the answer that you get when you do the O and the I? And then.
You probably accidentally did that.
So I probably didn't bring this one down though. Because I know these cancel out because it's the same letter, I guess. Right? Even though they're in opposite spots, they're the same thing.
Are we gonna do the test tonight?
Do the review.
Look how much I gave that.
Oh, forget it on spring break.
I know.
Well, I don't have a choice. You know, I hadn't even finished teaching tonight. And I don't know, yeah, and I thought about that. But I don't know that that's fair to give a test on the same night that I haven't finished teaching the chapter. Yeah, and I thought about that last week. We talked about that. You have to take it tonight. And I know some people want to go over this a number of times. You wouldn't have a chance to do that. I mean, there's some people that will never go over this. So it doesn't matter if I give it now or whatever. But you're going to go over this. And will you forget it over spring break? No. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to do it over spring break. You might pick it back up again on Monday or Tuesday. So, yeah, I did
Can we
think
do
about
another
that.
one of these? You've already done it, so we can like do it over time?
Yeah, I have a whole bunch. I just don't know, I had a stack of them. I walked around with them. I just have to find out what I did with them. I just had them here.
I said they're in the bar, right before you get the bridge, it's called Jack Daniels. I think that's what makes it so. They're like, oh, have to go there and have a drink.
Okay.
So where are they? So I told her, well, I'll drive to get there. Once we get there, you're driving. I said, how soon as we go to the bar, I'm gonna have to do drinks. Oh. He's like, are you kidding me? I'm like,
Okay, get out your review sheet, because what we're gonna do is, you're gonna have a test, and there was no other way, if we hadn't lost that one class, you would be taking this test tonight. Unfortunately, I'm gonna go over this tonight, and then you're gonna have to, if you have time over the holiday, look it over, which probably I could predict the percentage of people that would, and that's okay. Just look it over before the Thursday you come back, you will come in and take the test. So I'm gonna go over, it looks just like this. Now, my day class took the test, and the things that I'm seeing in here, I can that I've already corrected, I'm gonna tell you to watch out for. We have done everything on here all the way down except for number 20, which I haven't given you yet. And that's on 5.6.
How to solve blank questions?
Yeah. No, it's, and then I will go over the whole review sheet with you guys. I'm going to teach 5.6, which is dividing a polynomial by a monomial. That's really only the first page of 5.6. The rest of 5.6 is a lot more information, which I'm not required to teach, and you will get it in intermediate. But what you're going to be tested on, you're going to have one question from 5.6, which I'll go over now with you. So if you turn the page, for those that have a textbook, also on the computer after tonight, you should be able to go all the way through 9. 9, 10, and 11 start after. You cannot talk tonight. or just, go sit outside. You should be, if you haven't even started it, good luck on that. Then you need to work on it over spring break. All right, 5.6 is dividing polynomials. Well, it starts on page 351. You've already divided by a monomial. If I had 12x to the 5th divided by 3x squared, this is called a monomial divided by a monomial. You've already done that. We've reduced the number part, which means there's 4. Then when you go to reduce the variables, you're going to reduce with the same base. I have x to the 5th in the numerator, x squared in the denominator. 2 of these, cancel out 2 of these and leave 3. Or you can just go 5 minus 2 is 3. That's a monomial divided by a monomial.
So you're multiplying, then you're adding.
You divide numbers, subtract.
Dividing and then.
Because that's the opposite of what we did when we multiplied. We multiplied numbers and added exponents. And when you do the reverse, we divide numbers and subtract exponents. Now, if I make this into a binomial, which is, I'm going to this means a binomial is divided by a monomial. What you can do here is this is a denominator that really can be split with both of these. Do you have to split it? No. I'm just going to show you how it works or why it works. And then I never split it up. I just go from angle to angle. But what you're really doing is splitting it into 2 fractions. And I can do this because when you have the same denominator, remember when we add fractions, when you have the same denominator, you carry this over and you add the numerator. So in order to reduce this, you can split it. And then this is 4x3. 3 goes in there 2. There would be 2 of these, 2x2. You're going to take this denominator. What I do is instead of splitting it, I just work from here to here and from here to here. But what we're really doing is that 3x squared is dividing into each term of the numerator.
So that's the answer, right, for x to the 3rd? I mean, to the cube then.
Now, the rest of the section, which we don't do in this class, we'll take that and divide it by a binomial. You're not doing that. That actually involves some long division like you would do in regular math long division. So we're just really getting into page 351 and 352. We are not going to divide by a polynomial. You're just going to divide by a monomial, which means you're going to reduce the number part and subtract the exponents on the same base. Well, let me do another one.
Reduce the number part and what?
Reduce the number part, because that's a fraction, and subtract the exponents with the same base. This would be a monomial dividing into a polynomial or a trinomial. Once again, this can divide into all the terms of our numerator. 4 goes into 16/4. How many x's do I have left when I have x6 divided by x2? You subtract. So you have x4. This is simple arithmetic here. 4 goes into here 5 times, excuse me. 5x.
Take away 3x.
1.
Well, guess what happens?
This becomes stays x.
I have an x left over, but it's in my denominator. So this is -3, and I have an x down here. To split it up, if I went like this, This would be 3, and then this x, and I would have an x down there.
So why does
Why
X
can't
get
you
put down there?
Because when I divided it by the x squared, there was an x left over, but it was left over in the denominator.
So when it's left over in the denominator, it's gonna become a negative fraction.
So become a fraction, yeah. Now the one that's like on your test, you're not gonna have this, you're gonna have 3 terms. So let me do number 20 with you now on your review sheet. And what I'm gonna do is I gotta change, this is the ones on the test, so let me just change the numbers around. Say you have 15x7 minus 10x3 minus 5x all over 5x. This would be similar to what you have. You're going to have a trinomial divided by a monomial. So you're just going to go ahead and divide each of these out, and you will have a trinomial answer. Well, 5 divides into 15, 3. How many x's? 6. Remember, if you don't see an exponent, there's a 1 there, invisible 1. If you want to put it in there, that's okay. Don't change the sign because it's a negative divided by positive, so it's a negative 2x squared.
And
That eliminates, doesn't it?
That's X.
What is anything divided by itself? Don't say 0. 1.
So it's gonna be a 5, right?
Why can't you say
Oh,
0?
minus 1.
You have 5 and you take away 5, you have nothing.
Yeah.
5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 minus 1 is x to the 0, and anything to the 0 power is 1. When you divide any number or term by itself, it's 1.
So what if that was, can that be a negative 5x to the bottom?
I can't.
So
Then all these signs would be different.
So
This
that-
would be a negative, this would be a
That'd be
positive, this would be a
25, right?
positive.
I mean, I knew it was
Well,
1, but I
okay, no,
thought I
1, yeah,
canceled out, so I canceled it out.
Yes.
Do we not put an X?
No, because you cancel out.
I canceled out. I'm not dividing.
5x divided, this is like saying negative 5x divided by 5x. That's negative 1. The x's cancel and the 5's cancel. Everything cancels, you get 1.
What if the exponent on the top 5 was a 2?
It'd be
Well, then it would be
X.
X
just a plain x.
Oh, it'd still be, oh, okay.
When everything cancels, when the number's exactly the same and the power of the exponent is exactly the same, you're going to get 1.
Unless it would be at the denominator, 5x1 would be 5x2, then it'd be x on 1.
Right, but you're, yeah. Yes, I can change this a variety of ways. But anything divided by itself is 1. X divided by x is 1. If you subtract exponents, 1 minus 1 is 0, so it's x to the 0, 1. Remember, positive 5x minus 5x, that's 0. But 5x divided by negative 5x is not 0, it's negative 1. There's 2 different things going on there.
What if we just had XX, it'd still be 1?
XX?
Yeah, X over X. And X on the
1,
bottom.
yes.
Because you're dividing it.
Because if you don't want to see it as dividing by itself, remember these represent real numbers. So if x were 6, it'd be 6 divided by 6. But if you don't want to do that, then you go subtract 1 minus 1 is 0, x to the 0 is 1. So no matter how you see it, just remember that. If you leave out, if we have something like this and you leave out, that should be 1 there. If you leave that out and just put these 2, I'm marking it wrong. Because you need to continue dividing the whole thing.
You leave the 1 out?
If you leave the 1 out, it's wrong. If you leave out this, because the problem leaves that out, then I would just have these 2.
Should be 1X.
No, the X is.
No, because the X's cancel. 5 goes into 5, 1.
And X up
This
there.
will cancel, everything cancels, you still have 1. A minus 1, a negative 1. When everything cancels out in division, you have an answer of 1,
The signs that-
even with variables. A6 B5 over A6 B5 is 1. 6 minus 6 is 0, so that's a to the 0, it's 1. B5, 5 minus 5 is 0, b to the 0 is 1. All of these wipe out all of these wipe out 1. Question? Somebody had a question.
If, on the B, like on the bottom B,
Yes.
if it had a 6, how would that be? Just
Yes, if there's anything other than 6, 5, 6, 5, we're going to have something other than 1. Yes. If I had A6, B5, A6, B4,
Yeah.
Then that would cross
then
out.
these cancel, but these don't, and I have an answer of B. Yeah.
if the
if
bottom
it-
number was greater than the number above, it would be
A negative.
a negative?
Or, if you've noticed on the computer, they don't want answers with negative exponents. They want it positive, so you leave it in its location. If this was 6 and this was 7, it would be 1 over B. Because these 6 wipe out this and leave 1, or 6 minus 7 is B to the negative 1, which is this answer. The computer doesn't want you, and I don't want it either, so like on one, I think number 19, I have something where there's a lot of negatives. I want the answer to be all positive exponents. That means they just change location. So that's just dividing. You just take that monomial in your denominator and divide it to each of the terms above it in the numerator. Dividing numbers, subtracting exponents. That's your number 20. It's gonna have a trinomial divided by a monomial. So watch your variables and watch your signs. All right, so let's review for the test. Is there anybody that needs another review sheet? Wants an extra one to work on or anything? I have some extra ones.